Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal. Initially, when the Dragonflight 2024 roadmap was revealed, we saw that this expansion actually had quite a bit of life in it left before we get the next chapter of The War Within. However, some of these patch updates were a little bit more straightforward, like the Season 4 and 10-7 has clearly defined content as well as some of the features that are planned for those specific updates. The upcoming patch of 10-6 doesn't have any of those things. Instead, it's just a black flag with a skull and crossbones. In fact, this mysterious 10-6 update has recently been discovered over on the internal developer realms, and it seems like it's getting regular updates, even getting a brand new build somewhat recently. And this strain of regular updates could suggest that it potentially might be releasing to PTR for us to test very soon, or be coming out to the live realms, skipping the public testing altogether. As with all internal builds, we don't have access to these realms over on the PTR. However, the devs have gotten the chance to playtest something internally and have been leaving a lot of cryptic tweets and messages online over the last few weeks without any clear explanation of what patch 10-6 is supposed to be. This means that we as a community are left to speculate all on our own as to what these content updates may turn into. So today I really wanted to share my own predictions as well as share the most popular community speculations regarding this upcoming content update. But right before we get into the topic, most of you guys watching these kind of update videos are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do. So let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell if you're watching these videos anyway. Especially if you want to get more regular content regarding Dragonflight 10.2 or any of the future updates going forward. First of all, let's get the obvious out of the way. Based on a black flag as well as skull and crossbones, there's a high likelihood that this update is going to feature pirate themes. While nothing is officially confirmed by Blizzard, that does seem to be the most likely outcome. The Captain Cracker's promotional event that came out recently was very interesting when it comes to its overall timing. In the background of that picture of the promotional event, we actually do have a pirate ship locked away out in the zone of the Forbidden Reach, in an area we get to explore during the patch 10.07. And you can actually go visit that ship right now. On that ship you'll find a handful of pirates, and inside of the cabins, a book which some believed would have been connected to the next World of Warcraft expansion, which was a speculation that the community has been able to muster together way before we got the official expansion reveal of the War Within during BlizzCon. And since BlizzCon, I haven't seen a single person bring that book back up again, but maybe the backdrop location for the battle pet does end up being the hint of what is to come as part of this update. When revisiting that same book, we have the tale of the Night Squall, which is apparently some legendary night elf pirate who ventured to distant lands before the Alliance or the Horde got to them first. He plundered treasures from both the Proudmoors and the Cotirans, as well as the King Rastakhan of the Zandalar, two formidable naval factions which we got to meet during the Battle for Azeroth expansion. The book weaves a tale that Night Squall has finally returned, calling for all pirates to spread his message. The dastardly Night Squall got a big prize in his crosshairs, but to claim it, he seeks to build a massive fleet, calling on the factions such as the Irontide, the Bloodsail, Defias, and even the Freebooter. And maybe this story and the event we're about to receive are connected, and the patch 10-6 is setting up some kind of a pirate invasion event, similar to N'Zoth invasions or Legion Demon invasions from older expansions. While we're on the topic of stories, another theory did come up recently that this one is not nearly as well connected as the pirate themes. It could be that skull and crossbones are not meant to depict pirates directly, but maybe it is a symbol for poison or toxins, like something you would see labeled in a file in a rogue order hall. Maybe something poisonous is coming to the patch 10-6, but what could it be? The only real threat that comes to mind, at least for me, would be the final boss of Brackenhide. At the end of the dungeon, the boss flees before dying, and the plotline of Decay, the Gnolls, and the Decatriar kind of just ends there. Maybe Gnolls and Decay magic could potentially make a return as they seek to poison the Dragon Isles, but it is not as solid as this pirate's suggestion. Next, let's go over some of the possible content that we may even see from the patch 10-6, kind of piggybacking off of the whole pirate themes. And this is where theories, guesses, speculations, and even wishful thinking takes center stage. Based on the Night Squall story from earlier, it is possible that we could see more invasion points anywhere within the Dragon Isles. It's very possible that what they may do is take the Forbidden Reach zone, the one that we haven't visited in a while, and then repurpose it to add new pirate factions for us to fend off against, which could add additional open world content such as world quests, dailies, and even maybe a big world boss. So what we've seen a lot from the players over the last year is that many players are hoping that we do get more open world content that gives us a reason to go back to some of the old world areas of Azeroth again. Like, imagine if they were to add world quests in some of the older world zones, maybe even in a rotation, giving players a reason to revisit some of those places such as Grizzly Hills, Jade Forest, the Nagrand of TBC, or any of the original vanilla or Cataclysm zones, maybe as a potential time-walking event or a time-walking activity during active TBC, Wrath, or even Cataclysm time-walking weeks. And it's a very popular suggestion that could potentially be reworked into this event. Like, what if they added a new world quest and even dailies and even a world boss into the Booty Bay with an invasion event that happens every few hours? And they could even use that to populate some of the other regions of the open world, such as Westfall, where the Defias faction would usually operate from, or within certain areas of Kul Tiras, maybe near freehold pirate factions. Altogether, this will make for an interesting setting that uses a lot of the old world areas, giving players plenty of reasons to revisit them all over again. Another item that's worth noting about the patch 10.26 is that it will be the update that predates Season 4 content update, similar to patches such as 10.07, which came out before Season 2, or 10.17, which came out before Season 3. The reason these updates are so notable is because they're usually used as a final update that leads into the next season. And in the past, all these updates have often been treated as a catch-up patch. And these catch-up patches have all offered plenty of ways for your alts to catch up with competitive endgame gear to prep for the next upcoming season. In 10.07, all of these armor tokens could then be further upgraded and then even turned into tier gear with a very competitive item level comparable to Season 1 raiding gear. 10.17 had open world events such as Dream Surges, which awarded normal and heroic raid gear equivalents, and hosted a time-walking mega event, awarding players with the easiest experience bonuses ever to level up new characters and weekly gear rewards to participate in time-walking dungeons, often thrown at players even more heroic gear. A 10.26 might work in the very same way, so we may see a ton more open world events that are incredibly lucrative and definitely worth your while, or may even offer invasion events which can help your lower level alt characters get a ton of experience for participation. And finally, I want to go over some of the more common fan theories that have been brought up over the last few weeks, going over some of the best guesses that the community has been able to come up with for the Skull and Crossbones 10.26 event. Starting with a more popular theory which suggests that it could potentially be an island revamp event that allows players a reason to return to some of the BFA island expeditions all over again. Islands have always had a natural pirate inspiration and pirate factions involved as part of the activity, so for some this will be a pretty easy connection to make. Except this variation of islands wouldn't have us farming Azerites, thank goodness. Instead, we will be collecting currencies, as well as getting cosmetics, and potentially even gear rewards in the process, maybe even a new vendor, so they could be a little bit less RNG than the original island expeditions. This fan theory could be likely because we have seen Blizz repurpose older content to make it more evergreen, so potentially we could be seeing islands return as a regular activity. Though another theory suggests that there may be some sort of a new dungeon event or a scenario that we'll be able to jump into where we'll be able to collect cosmetic rewards, gear upgrades, and potentially even mounts as incentives to running some of the new content. Though another, a little bit more of a wilder speculation suggests that it's actually a hardcore leveling mode coming to retail World of Warcraft, which would be the wildest suggestion yet. Classic Hardcore, safe to say, was a massive success, with so many players getting the chance to play Classic with some risk involved. Every character you make has one life, so keeping yourself alive throughout your leveling journey ends up being a much more difficult task than most players would have imagined, as dangers are always lurking around every corner, cave, and dungeon. One wrong move and you pull way too many enemies at a time and your run is done in a blink of an eye. In comparison, retail leveling isn't nearly as exciting. though most of our classes do have access to a variety of class talents, which add additional mechanics that could allow for a potentially fun hardcore experience, especially if players are able to take some of the skills learned from dungeons, raids, and PvP. Things like mobility, proper cooldown usage, survivability, crowd control, and apply it to a dangerous open world content. It could possibly create a more interactive and engaging leveling experience. Similar to other fan theories, this would also come with its own rewards, titles, and maybe even achievements, maybe even an amount to show off to everyone that you were able to best anything Azeroth has to throw at you. But for now, this is everything that we know so far about the patch 10.2.6 and the potential content that it may bring in the future. Hopefully over the next few weeks, we'll actually see this patch drop over on the PTR so we can get a better idea at what this update has to offer. But like I mentioned earlier, this patch and the update has been super unusual compared to everything that we've gotten so far. So it may be one of those things they'll just hide under a curtain and then randomly reveal out of nowhere. Though it would be nice to get some kind of like a date as to when this thing may be coming out, if that is the case. As per usual though, I do want to thank you all so much for watching this video and hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. What kind of an event would you want to see if this is to be a pirate themed update, and what kind of content do you hope that they bring in the future? As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single video and live stream, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video or hang out with the rest of the community to discuss some of the upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all of your thoughts down below, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.